Well, hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. We are looking at the outer garden beds in the backyard, and there's a female cardinal over there, squirrel. Anyway, for the month of, what is this? September of 2023. I'm Bowtie Dave, mostly ADD. It's a tiring day. I recorded the first part earlier today and edited it. This comes out a few days after that. The third part comes out a few days after that because it takes me a while to edit the videos and get them worthy for publication. But we're standing out here at the Blackberry Arbor, and this is where we'll start our garden tour of the back. There are a few new things. We have had a great change in weather. This is the 16th of September, and this is normally the weekend that our weather starts changing from all 90s and upper mid 90s and hot with heat indexes into the 100. This is normally when it changes, and our forecast is bearing that out, that we're going to be having some nice break for a while. So 3 months, it's been just almost right at 3 months, starting in the middle of June, July, August, September, that we've had really hot weather. In fact, if you saw in the first part of the garden tour, if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. But our beans, we harvested 3 of our first beans on video. I was very excited. So that's our first beans for the post-summer heat, and we are in Destin, Florida, so it got pretty warm. Yeah. Anyway, we're hoping to have some production on a few other things. Well, let's just get to it and take a look at what's growing and what we might have coming up. And there's a big change over there. If you know what's right over there, yeah, that's changed. So anyway, all that being said, let's just get on with it. Here we go. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So, as I said in the first part of this month's garden tours, we have a lot of long grass and weeds through here because we've been traveling a lot this year. So you'll see there is a lot of grass and weeds, and that hasn't been tended to. The blackberries are kind of going strong. What I've been doing is I'm just tucking it into little holes in the cattle panel here, and like this one right here, I will redirect it ever so gently. Try to get it in there, trying to get it to where it won't break. I don't want to break them, obviously, and see there, it just kind of weaves in. So we've got, I don't think we have as much as last year as far as blackberry vines. This one here, this one's nice and flexible still, so he's going to come through here, back out there, and just kind of give him a direction to go. We still have some on the ground down here, like you can see right here. Here's one that's gone somewhere, and I've kind of lost control of some of these, so they're just going to kind of go the way they want to. I don't think we have quite as much here as last year. I don't think we do, but this is just developing, so we're just kind of getting things started in this area. I'm still not good with blackberries. Don't know a lot about them or how to do them, so it's just going to take time to figure this out. So this is our 23rd month living here, and yeah, I'm still learning some of this stuff. So the pomegranates, are looking good. I really didn't harvest anything this year. I didn't have any plans. You can see there's some up there. There's one right there, right there. There was a big one over here, and I'll bet you anything it fell. I'm gonna walk back behind here and look straight up. Yeah, it's gone. I'm looking down here on the ground now. I don't see it. Something must have gotten it. Maybe a monkey. We don't have monkeys, I'm kidding. There was a big one hanging up there somewhere, and I don't see it anymore. So they get ripe, overripe, and then they fall off, just like any other fruit. But they are looking good. I still haven't trimmed all the suckers off of the bottom like I did last year. I need to come back in here and do that on these 4 pomegranate trees. The goji berry back here, it looks really sorry. Oh, it's got some blackberries crawling all over. I need to get back there and pull those blackberries back into the cattle panel. So you can see this pomegranate's looking really sorry. The fountain here, we will be dealing with this in the winter. I tried to get nasturtium. There's actually still nasturtium in here, which is a tasty flower. A little bit of a peppery taste, really nice on a salad. But we'll end up clearing this all out, emptying all the soil out. The biggest mistake I made was I didn't put perlite in here. It needed better drainage, so it became a swamp. There's actually drainage holes down in there, but it wasn't enough. And so it became a swamp in there, and wasn't a great situation. And then, of course, the grass took over. So I'll probably end up having to completely change out the soil in there, put it in the compost, or maybe under a tarp over yonder, and take care of it that way. But the blueberries, that was the blackberries. These are the blueberries. You know, we have a lot of good growth on the blueberries, new growth, looking strong. We'll have some new stuff. I'm having to clear out a lot of vines off of here. Tie vine, I think is what it's called. Yeah, a lot of good growth coming in here though. So down here we've got a mint down here. We've got 2 mints back here actually, and both of them are looking pretty sorry. I think I may have lost my peppermint, which is going to make me sad if I have. May you remember I mentioned this air potato right here growing up. I ended up just cutting it at the base, and it's taking forever for it to die. Just very surprising. Just forever. I think I cut that like maybe 3 weeks ago. Go back and look at the air potatoes should be illegal video. Yeah, so how about that? Look at the bee box. It's short. It's tiny. Remember, we had like 5 or 6 boxes of it up here this summer. So they are getting ready for the winter. We just got back from a cruise. And while I was in the middle of the cruise, my bee whisperer, he calls me. I get a phone call from him right at the moment I had signal, which was very rare. And he said, what if I can come over and tend to your box? Of course he can. He's always welcome here. But Jeff Chesser, he came over and took some of the honey out and is getting them ready for their wintering. But you can see the weeds here have really taken over in the Cathedra-loupe. But look at the bees. This is why I don't want to touch the weeds even, because the bees are just loving this. Look at right there. Just going along. There's 2, 3 of them right there right now. 2, one of them just flew away. Anyway, so even the weeds have a purpose. All the I don't see any zinnias here anymore. But there's everything else here. So the bee bath is relatively dry because it did not get watered this morning. I did just alter our watering schedule, and this only gets watered every other day, so it gets fresh water every other day. So yeah, again, lots of weeds. the Cathedra-loupe. Now, on the outside of the Cathedra-loupe over here, we have our cantaloupe growing, and this is so late. We're not going to get anything off this. Okay, I just made a liar out of myself. Look down here. Look at that. Huh. And I see another one over there. Okay, so there are two. Here's another one. Okay, I have not been watching this, obviously. 3 cantaloupe. I'm gonna have to go get some organza bags and put those up in a sling. That's very surprising. I did not expect that at this point. I really didn't. I thought these things were history, especially since they're so overgrown. I can see an ivy growing up right there that's probably gonna serve to choke that thing out if I don't take care of it. Okay, well, I better get out here and do that then here in the next day or two. So I do have this patch of zinnias. Remember, I had a patch of zinnias over here, and I had a patch of zinnias over there by the bee box, and that patch appears to be completely gone. So we never really did finish the Cathedra-loupe. You can see there's places where we have not attached it together yet. So this is a little disheveled. We will get this done here this winter when things start dying back. But yeah, the zinnias look great. There's even some deadheading in here. What I do here, and this is really cool. So you can take a dead zinnia flower, and if you break it open, those are all seeds up inside there. See the seed? That's all those little flat, long things. Those are seeds. And you just take them and spread them. And whether they grow this season or next season, it's irrelevant. They'll eventually grow. Some of them will eventually grow. And I've done that a lot. So that's how most of this is spread. And this zinnia patch I'm going to keep propagating. I would like to do another zinnia patch over there underneath that fig tree on that side of the Cathedra-loupe. And this winter, it is my goal to get the middle of the Cathedra-loupe completely cleared out. The bee bath is going to go on the outside over there so that it will be out of the way and I can run a lawnmower through there when I need to. So that's the Cathedra-loupe. Cathedral, because it's shaped like a cathedral with a cross piece and a main the nave and the transept. Is that what it is? I can't remember, but it's also happens to be facing the correct way. It's facing east, which I thought was funny. And I was planning on growing cantaloupe on this, so Cathedra-loupe. I know, stupid. All right, so over here, the fig trees. Now I did show a fig tree on the front and side garden tour. I did want to show you how these leaves, I think this one maybe, see how it's all brown? See how that just fell off. I barely touched it. This one here, not quite ready. This one here, not quite ready. But when they're ready and they're not producing energy anymore, the tree will drop a leaf. And if you just help it ever so slightly, it just pushes it that much faster. Now these two are from the tree of a friend who after we cut back pretty hard, and it had never recovered from that. And I think it may be on its last leg anyway. It's probably a 30-year-old tree, so not really surprising. Here's a leaf. Let's see if this one is. Nope, that one's still on there good. These have already let go. Anyway, there are some figs in here trying to develop. This one here we're going to encourage to go more upward and grow over this back side of the Cathedra-loupe. We're on the north side of the Cathedra-loupe, so it's not like it's going to be shading anything. I did just see figs here. Where did I just see figs? I thought I did. Maybe I'm imagining it. Oh yeah, there's one right there. There's a fig. It won't develop. It's too late in the season. But, oh, here they are. This is the ones I saw. There's 3 of them right there. 1, 2, 3. but it's way too late in the season, most likely. So the elephant ears are back here living their best life, growing huge. They're beautiful. Looks like this may be growing something different. There's a fruit in here. Is that a female? Look at that, look at that. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is a thing of beauty. See, that makes me think there's a fruit right there of some kind. The other one isn't doing that, so I don't know. I don't know elephant ears, but that is beautiful. It's yellow, which is one of our colors. Okay, so we still have our little pile of grow bags under a tarp that we're overwintering, that we're making sure they're ready, not full of weeds. I really do like this method. I have just basically piled them up and covered them over, and it really seems to, when I need a grow bag, I pull one out, I supplement it with whatever fertilizer it needs, and then I stick whatever I need in the grow bag. It works great, so we'll see if it continues to work great. These two lemon trees, you can see, you saw the one tree on the front that I painted white, the grapefruit tree. This one down here I painted white just because its bark is exposed. I don't have a lot of hope for either one of these lemon trees. I'm not sure. I know the previous owner used to stick branches in aloe leaves, huge aloe leaves like those over there, and stick them in the ground, and he would grow new trees. So I don't know if this is on a rootstock or if it's an actual Meyer lemon tree. So both of these, I don't know. I'm assuming that this one is an actual Meyer lemon tree without rootstock, and I think they both may be, but I don't know. But I'm going to just kind of take care of it as best I can. I do need to get over to IV Organics online and get the right kind of paint, because once that stuff wears off, it's going to need it again. Basically, what you're doing here is you're protecting the bark from burning, and without its leaf cover, it doesn't have the protection it should have, and so you have to give it an extra bit of protection with the white paint. Keeps it living longer. After this past Christmas, I've kind of got a lot discouraged about all this. I'm a little dismayed over my tree situation. So I don't know enough about trees to know what to do at this point. Okay, so do you remember what this was? If you look back in the outer garden bed tours, you might remember that we had zucchini right here, and that's what this is. This is a zucchini plant that will not die. Now, it hadn't given any buds or any fruit or anything, but is still growing months and months and months later. So I made a mistake. I put it on this weed fabric. I should not have done that. It likes to root along the stem here. Because of the weed fabric, it can't do that. However, how is it still getting life? I mean, there's not much life to it. I mean, look at these leaves. They're terrible. They're all eaten up. It is just a bad situation. So I actually have a backup plan in place already, and you'll have to watch the next part of the video tour to see it. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, those stems look healthy. That is just crazy. I know there's so many whatever vine borers, whatever they are, up inside these stems, though. I stopped caring for them when they really started to fail. So there was another one right there where that big pile of brown stuff is, and there was another one under here. Those two kind of gave up the ghost long ago. However, the thing that isn't giving up the ghost is the watermelon. In fact, this is the Crimson Sweet, I think it is, watermelon. They're all growing. There's 3 plants growing from this little hole right here. I've got a little watering spigot right there where it gets watered every other day. And look at the size of this one. Let me see if I can get my foot in between here. This is the big one. Very pleased with this. The tendril, you can see right there, the tendril is getting ready. It's dying, so this thing will be ready soon. It's huge. This one here could be harvested literally in a time. It's not quite as big as that one. In fact, these other 4 are not quite as big as that big one. But like this one here, you can see the tendril is almost down. This is a small one down here. Where is its tendril? Its tendril is all green though. See, that's its tendril. Still all green, so that thing isn't ready. I did harvest another one over there, and that makes 3 we harvested here. There's one inside there that, because it's on the other side of the fence, it belongs to my neighbor, and he is going to be back in town Tuesday or Wednesday, and he will get that then. And then there's another one there. So yeah, we're getting some watermelons this year. I'm very pleased that the weed fabric really helped. In fact, yes, the weed fabric helped with this plant, with the watermelon, not the zucchini. But look, this vine, it is growing away. It's just going crazy, like no one's business. Very little pest pressure. I'm very excited. See very little pest damage on the leaves. I see a little bit of maybe blight. You can see a little rust over here, rust-looking stuff over here, but it's still going strong. I am just amazed at this watermelon plant. In fact, check this out. This thing is following along the top of the fence all the way down to here. Isn't that cool? I don't think it's got any female flowers down here. Oh, nope, that's not a female flower. I don't see any female flowers this far out, but that's pretty cool. That is just really cool. And I don't know if the neighbor actually put it on top of the fence like that, or if it just grew that way. Either way wouldn't surprise me. But look at this. I mean, this thing is shooting out a side shoot with just tons of little male flowers. No oh, I take it back. There's a female flower. See right there, the closest one in the middle of the camera? There's a little fruit on the bottom of that. That's a female flower. That right there is a male flower. There's no fruit on the base of it. So this is a brown turkey fig, and it didn't have any cover on the stem, on the trunk, so I went ahead and painted it white. It has been transplanted out here. This used to be where the ligustrum, the big ligustrum, used to be, and I have cut it to the ground and replacing it with a brown turkey fig. So I'm very excited about that. I would love to see this grow up straight up to about 4 feet, then top it to where it will grow out in a few different directions. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. So, brown turkey fig tree right there. The empty trellis that we did not use this year, namely because we didn't have time. Crazy times. And then of course the tree we cut down needs a little cleaning. I've been cleaning this about once every 3 months, maybe. Yeah, that's about right. About every 3 months I'll go up there, and you don't even have to cut them. You just take your finger and knock those little growths off of there. This thing will eventually die and fall, but it's very large, so it will take a long time. There is a jasmine down in here that needs to have some attention, and it's in okay shape. It's not really, doesn't seem, I've pulled back the grass and looked carefully. Actually, at one point we had a snake living down here, so I didn't want to disturb it that much. The reason why I only cut the grass so far is because it's an electric mower and I ran out of battery, and I just hadn't been back out here since. So the wood pile, of course, this is from the big tree we chopped down, and it's still here. The satsuma orange tree is gone. There is underneath this area a onion patch, Egyptian walking onion patch. It's the same stuff as what's in the front pollinator bed in the front yard. And I have poked through here to see if we could find any onions growing, and I have seen, well, I smell it. I smell stuff. I don't see anything. Okay, there we go. Right there. This is a Egyptian walking onion right there. So yes, there are things growing under here. When I do get in here, you can see the stems down there, the white stems. When I do get in here, I'm going to have to be surgical to try to save as much as I can. I'm not worried about it too much because, oh, I can see another one back down in there as well. This stuff grows prolifically, so I'm not too worried. I can even transplant some stuff from the front garden back here and rebuild this in a heartbeat. So this corner back here used to have a lemon tree in this big pot. Is that a pot? More like a swimming pool. Of course, the dead pomegranates, or this dead pomegranate. We've been losing some stuff for some reason, and I'm still learning. So, but these three pomegranates are actually doing okay. These are the ones that I never got the suckers off the base. So, kind of waiting to see how it turns out. The last one over there by the compost bin, but this one here is doing good. They actually have pomegranates on it. In fact, this one over here, yeah, here we go. You can see one right there, and there's another one right up there. So it has a couple of pomegranates. I haven't really cultivated these this year. So we will face that in a future challenge. This is, of course, a loquat tree. There is another loquat tree broken off. Oh my. Our first casualty of the loquats. The top. Yeah, it broke off. Right there. So I need to get this unburied. This St. Augustine grass just buries things in no time. And of course all the other weeds as well. So we need to take care of this stuff. This one has aloe in it. Big aloe plants. No idea what that one was supposed to be. I don't think that was anything, but I'm not sure. Our resurrected zombie lemon tree, which has come back. I'm very excited to see this growing. This one I have the greatest hope for. It does have thorns. Yes, it does have thorns. But this was one of our big producers before last year, before the freeze. So a decorative grass. Here's a loquat. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's just beautiful. Another one here. Oh, and looky here. Finally, I've got one forking out. That's what I want to see right there. Look at this. 3 branches, because these are actually going to be turned into a hedge along the back of the property. There are 6 trees here, but there's also another 10 down there in solo cups that need to be transferred to larger containers. Now this is the pot of my special aloe that blooms a different color. I can't remember. I think this one blooms red and the others bloom yellow. I cannot remember for sure. So, and then down here we have another chocolate mint with a leaf flower growing in it like it normally does. There we go. Just take that out. Oh, there's even some clover. There we go. Just give it a little head start here. Oh, there's other weed. Yeah, I'm just getting back into the swing of the garden now that we are back in town for a while. The comfrey over there is looking strong. I would love to break that up into a few pieces and get that spread out. I think I may have mentioned it last month that I made a mistake. I didn't know what it was last year, and I took out a bunch of it. So I want to bring it back, and it's not very hard to bring back. You just break apart the root ball, grow it in a different place, and it'll do its thing. Compost, not much has happened. Last month I mentioned that this pile was as high as the top of these, and it had gone all the way down. Well, it's been about half that tall when I cut the grass after coming back from the cruise. So this thing is just processing away, focusing itself, and we still put kitchen scraps in there, which reminds me I need to go get the kitchen scraps right now because we've got a bucket full in the kitchen. So still the same foreign grass that may have chemicals in it, and I'm going to let it remediate for a year. My grass, I know there's nothing in it, and wood chips that I know is good, and we'll be integrating these two together. So I did get back here. Some of you may remember how this palm tree was getting out of hand, and I did say I was going to chop it out. I did not chop it out. I just kind of trimmed it up a little because I couldn't deal with all of that. I do need to cut. This is the magnolia, some suckers coming off this magnolia tree. Now, interesting how this tree develops suckers, but the other magnolia tree does not. I don't understand that. I never have suckers on the other magnolia tree. So, that big thing sticking out there and there, those are Brussels sprout trunks. Hopefully we'll be getting more Brussels sprouts growing too. So anyway, there we go. The outer garden bed tour for September of 2023. The weather is finally breaking. It's nice. We're looking at fall, square in the face now, and cooler temperatures are on the horizon. That makes me very happy. The forecast has nothing in the 90s for the next 10 days, I mean. So that's good news, especially for certain production. You can see that in the first and the third part, what's starting to produce. So, and also you can see in the third part, if you know what's here on the side, what this is, you probably know how it's producing. I'm begging people to take some too, so. Anyway, stopping people on the streets to give away bagfuls. So you'll have to catch the part 3 of this month's garden tour to see what that is, and what all is going on in the rest of the garden, the last bit of the garden. The raised beds will be the next part of the garden tours. If you didn't see the first part, be sure and go catch that in the front and side garden tour. We got some stuff happening up there. I'm just getting started. It feels good to be getting back in the garden and getting some beds cleared that haven't been cleared in a very long time. Some of these beds, it's been 4 months maybe. So that strawberry patch video that was completely overgrown, 4 months. Go back and look at the first part where my green globe artichokes have come back on their own under cover of the St. Augustine grass, which I thought was very cool. They're starting to grow new growth. So I thought I was going to have to plant all new ones. I may only have to plant 2. I'm going to get more than that, of course, but may not need 5 new ones. But yeah, so there you go. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. We do these garden tours every month, and they are my personal journal of what's going on in the garden. I refer back to them frequently. You'll notice there's a lot of indexing in the description of this video, and that's so that I can go back and figure out, okay, I asked my question, what did that look like at this point, time of the year? And we're coming up on a year and a half of video tours, nice video tours that I can refer back to. So anyway, that's my personal purpose, and you're invited to follow along if you would like to, and be sure and subscribe. Everyone who's watching, thank you for watching. That helps grow the channel, grow the network, grow the community. The community is far more than just Bowtie Life. I'm just one guy, and right now a small guy. There are so many great channels out there, and if you want to learn gardening, you can. Find somebody that speaks to you, that speaks your language, that talks at your speed, that that you can relate to, and watch them and study from them and learn, and chances are you can probably find more than one person that matches those criteria, you can learn to garden if you've never been successful, or if you have been successful. It's funny because I learn things from other people. There's a young fella, ultimate gardener, down in southern Florida, and he's a young fella, 14, 15 years old. I can't remember, maybe 16 now. But I learned stuff from him, and he's actually getting some certifications, so he's really learning some stuff. And me, I'm just a beginner gardener. We're coming down to the end of my 4th year of gardening, of successful gardening, and I'm excited about that, but I'm learning. You can learn along with me. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. If you thought this was informational, educational, inspirational, or just entertaining to see me fumbling around the garden, please click the thumbs up and share this on social media. And show your friends, anyone who might need encouragement, or anybody who might need a good laugh, whatever. Anyway, so the most exciting things, of course, are the watermelon that are growing, and I'm really excited about these loquat. And I had not seen that this loquat tree here is actually beginning to fork. So that's ultimately what I want to do, is I want these things to start forking a lot, because I'm going to be growing them into a hedge. I want to do about an 8-foot tall hedge, maybe 4 foot deep, 4 or 5 foot deep, which is really going to be restrictive for a loquat tree. So we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, that's just stuff going on in the garden, normal stuff. And there you go. So hope you have success in the garden. Let me know in the comments below what you're having success with. What are you harvesting now? What's not harvesting? What's dying? Where are you from? Be sure to mention what growing zone, what state you're in, what country you're in. That's always interesting to see the differences of the different gardens. And you know, my garden is different from a friend's garden 10 miles that way. Completely different. 100% different. Same growing zone, same everything, but no, because of the topography here and the topography over there in their garden, completely different place. So let me know in the comments if you have any different experiences and what's going on in your garden. So appreciate you coming by. Have a blessed day.